Hey guys, the WalterFootball.com After Dark Show for June 2025. Going to do some best ball drafts tonight. We're supposed to have a guest on. I said yesterday Mike Lucchino is going to join us. Unfortunately, he was sick today, had a stomach bug, and he texted me. He's like, "Yeah, I don't think your listeners would like it if I was throwing up every 2 seconds." So yeah, definitely don't want to see that. Hopefully, Mike gets better and joins us in a couple weeks. Next week's going to be a little crazy at the NBA draft, but we have our Tuesday and Saturday guests plugged in already. So, yeah, next week, like I said, a little abbreviated with the NBA draft, but yeah, we're just going to do some best ball drafts tonight because I don't think we're going to do them for a while unless we do them Tuesday. We'll see who the guest is. But I figured, like, when Mike texted me and said he couldn't do the show, I was like, I don't know when we're going to go live because I was going to do it after the NBA game is over. I thought maybe this might go to overtime, but the Thunder were a complete no-show. What an embarrassment. Just so pathetic. I can't believe they put on that display. Like one of the most pathetic NBA Finals displays we've ever seen. So I entered this draft. We're going to, as soon as it starts, we'll run through everything. And as always, when I'm flying solo tonight, you guys can drop any comments you want. I'll answer anything. As you guys know, I don't care about getting canceled because I can't get canceled. It's a lot of fun here. And I don't have to worry about my co-hosts getting in trouble. So please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video, visit the link in the description for the merch store. As always, I'm wearing something from the merch store. It is our money laundering shirt. Which you can get here at the merch store. We have a 20% off sale. I actually bought a bunch of stuff. So you're going to see these new shirts sometime soon, as soon as they get here. So yeah, we have 100% USDA man, which I like a lot. I think this one might be pretty popular. The Watson and Tucker massage parlors get your happy ending today. I'm looking forward to the reactions I get from walking around with that. We have our mugs, of course. We have the Bucker was right apron. You can change the colors of the shirts. You can get a long sleeve, as I found out. You can get them in hoodie, which I got. I got this money laundering in hoodie too, so I'm looking forward to that. Women's tank tops too available. Yeah, lots of options here. You can go to Amazon, buy my books. The most recent one is Jerks of the College Years, where I made fun of people I met at Penn State. I was there for 6 years, so as you can imagine, I had a lot of writing material. Also, please consider super chats, super stickers. It's the best way to support the show. Like it really is. I mean, YouTube ads pay nothing. I always say that, and it's true. But yeah, John Sanders and Slew helped us out the most. And also Degeneron, Can't Make an Eagle, the boss Armac, Karmic, and Evan Daniel. Let's see. Patrick saying Walt not liking what I'm hearing from the great. Cy Hirsch is reporting he expects heavy bombing of Iran over the weekend. It says Trump is doing it then, so Wall Street won't be as impacted. Yeah, I'm not like I'm not. We're on the same wavelength as far as politics are concerned, and the draft's about to start. Yeah, I'm not pretty anti-war. I don't want to see any. I don't want to see the U.S. get involved. I mean, look, I get other countries getting into wars, and I understand it, but like for U.S. to get involved, I'm not a big fan. So yeah, we're definitely on the same page there. Dr. Eric Eager says happy Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth to everyone, I guess. I mean, it's an annoying federal holiday. I just because like, I wanted the stock trade, and like the market's closed. So anytime the market's closed, I'm gonna say bored. I never get bored, but like as like it's less stuff to do, and I'm like, okay, what do I do with my time? I mean, obviously I have a lot of work to do, and my kids take up a lot of time. My kids went swimming today. We set up like the kiddie pool in the backyard. They were having fun until like they saw a spider, and my daughter started freaking out. She's about to turn 2, so that was an adventure. Sue says that 12-team standard scoring was the earliest you would draft Josh Allen, 3.5, 3.10. I probably like 3 or 5, something like that, 3 or 4, 3 or 5, something like that. Maybe it depends like who's on the board. I mean, look, as long as you're like in round 3, I think it's okay. It depends on who's on the board. Like, if all the like desirable running backs or receivers off the board, and like there's a teardrop after them, then I would just consider Josh Allen. But like, if you're a 3 or 5 and you have like a really good tier 2 running back or receiver available, then I would just take them. But if you're like a 301 and all those guys are gone, by the way, where were we picking? By the way, I should probably figure that out. We are 11. Okay. Yeah, so if you're at 301 and all the top guys, top tier two tier 2 guys are off the board, then I would take Josh Allen. So I would just take him as like best player available. So that's how I would approach it. So hope that answers your question. So hope you're doing well tonight. And hope everyone's doing well tonight. Patrick saying, did you see the Tucker Ted Cruz interview? I saw bits and pieces, not the whole thing. It was great. Love when the senator arguing for regime change can't even name the basic demographics of that country. Yeah, I hate the regime change stuff. I don't want to be interventionist at all. It's not my style. I'm as you guys know, I'm super libertarian. And I always love when I'm like when I'm talking to some like dumb leftist on Twitter, and they're like, "Oh, you're a maggot, you're a Trump guy," and I'm like, "Well, I'm not even Republican. I'm libertarian. I did vote for Trump because he's the most libertarian candidate, and that includes Chase Oliver, who's he was vaccine mandate guy. Like, I don't understand the Libertarian Party. If like the Libertarian Party got its act together and like put forth good candidates and knew how to market better, and like I just feel like they would do so much better. I just feel like I know so many people who think like me, like or want to be libertarian, and I'm like, hey, they're always like, well, I don't know who to vote for. I guess I'll vote for Trump this time, and I'm like, well, you should be a libertarian. They're like, what's that? And they're just like so clueless. Like people are just programmed to think like, hey, it's either Republican or Democrat, which is not true. It can't be true. Like there are different ways of thinking, and it's just like yeah, I'm libertarian, but like the Libertarian Party sucks. Like they haven't put forth a good candidate in a decade plus. Like Gary Johnson was a fool. Jo Jorgensen I think that was her name. She was not libertarian, and Chase Oliver was even worse. Like you can't. Like the Libertarian Party can't put forth a vaccine mandate guy. Like it's just a joke. Anyway, let's see what we have in our draft here. I'm on the board of 2 picks. We have Puka Nacua, Christian McCaffrey, Malik Neighbors. I love all 3 of those guys. I will gladly take any of those 3. And I should note that I have been taking McCaffrey more, just because there's insane upside. I figure that like if I come away with McCaffrey or Garendo in every draft, I think I'll do well. There's been nothing but positive reports from McCaffrey, and like it's hard to believe the Niners, but actions speak louder than words, and they haven't really done anything at running back. Like they let 2 guys go, and yeah, they drafted a guy in the 5th round, but they always draft guys in the 5th round. That's nothing new. They didn't sign anyone, so Malik Neighbors goes. We're going to take Christian McCaffrey. I love Malik Neighbors, by the way, this year. I think that there's an argument that he could be better than Jefferson or Chase. I would not take him over those guys, but I think that he could finish above them. So we're going to take McCaffrey and see how this plays out. And we're going to be up soon, right away. So I would love Brian Thomas Jr., even though he has a tough schedule. So of course Brian Thomas Jr. goes. We're going to take Ladd McConkey instead. He is an absolute stud, especially in PPR. Just no question there. There's a case to be made for AJ Brown. But as I said to Kenny on last night's show, if you just take AJ Brown all the time, like all your teams are going to look the same. So I could I think I might have Brown over McConkey in PPR. I'm not quite sure where he is in these rankings that I have on the site, but they're super close. And like you're never going to get McConkey at like 210 or 209, and you can usually get Brown there. So that's how I approach this. Let's see. Patch says Dave Smith, Tom Woods, or Scott Horton would be better presidents than any of the candidates the Libertarian Party has promoted. Yeah, no, I mean, like, who was that? I forget the guy's name. His name was like Michael something. He was the front runner, I think. And so what they did was they took the 2nd and the 3rd leading candidates and they had them run. One is president, one is VP. And they kind of screwed that guy over. I forget what his name was. I wasn't even like in love with him as a candidate, but I thought he's pretty good. And I think I would have voted for him. But I mean, I totally agree. I mean, Dave Smith would be awesome. He just didn't run this year, and I think that was because he has a family and stuff. Yeah, I think he has young kids, so we might see him run in the future. I mean, he's fairly young. I think he's in his early 40s. Not exactly sure how old he is, but we're definitely going to see him run in the future. He just didn't run this year. And like, why even run this year when you run the Trump? He's 42, by the way, just as old as me. So we're going to see him run eventually, just not this year. It didn't have to be this year with Michael Recknewald. Exactly. Yeah, good ideas had the personality doing them. Yeah, I felt exactly the same way I'm like, yeah, this guy, I like his ideas, but I was like, man, this guy's not electable at all. But at least he had good policy ideas as opposed to Chase Oliver, who just it was a disaster. Actually ratioed Chase Oliver like a couple weeks ago, may have been last week, where he said, I forgot what he said. And then I replied, I'm like, how does it feel to be the worst presidential candidate in U.S. history? And like, I got like 500 thumbs up or something, and like he was definitely ratioed there. He was just absolutely terrible. I don't understand how they came to that, but like, I mean, Joe Jorgensen was just as bad. And I think there's a lot of bad actors who try to take over the Libertarian Party, like a lot of leftists who aren't libertarian but pretend to be. Like it's funny. It's funny. I was talking to some guy on Facebook. This guy's like a total creep. He said like horrible things about like my kids. Well, back then only one kid. He was like, I hope your son gets SIDS, son infant death syndrome. Like it's just a horrible person. But before that, he was like, I was telling him, I was like, no, I'm not Republican, I'm Libertarian. He's like, oh, I am too. And I'm like, weren't you pro-vaccine mandates? Like, weren't you pro-lockdown? He's like, yeah. Like, you're not Libertarian. like just quiet down. Let the adults speak here. Anyway, I suppose we should talk about the draft a little bit here. Josh Allen went 305, Lamar Jackson went 306. So it's funny that Slew said exactly 305, and there goes Josh Allen with 305. I think given who's off the board, I would say probably right. I think you can definitely make the case for Josh Allen over everyone there. I think McLaurin is like the only guy. And it sucks that if we get McLaurin, we can't get Daniels, who just went a 307. I'd like to stack those guys, and we're approaching a rough area here. So I'm gonna be up next. I would love McLaurin, even though I have a week 12 receiver bye. We can figure that out. And but if McLaurin's off the board, this is a rough spot because I really don't like these prospects, these fantasy players who are available here. Like I mentioned this yesterday to Kenny, I think round 4 is just a dead zone. We have like nothing but old receivers and rookies. So McLaurin made it to us, so at least we get him. Now the issue with him is that he's holding out. I think that'll be resolved. They'll re-sign him. They're not like a cheap organization like the Bengals, so they'll figure it out. So we're gonna take McLaurin and just talk about these guys why I don't like them. Davante Adams just won. He's 33, and he's gonna be a receiver too for the first time in his career. Tyreek Hill, I mentioned him a lot. He's the one guy I would not draft at all in the first 4 rounds. DJ Moore just went. DJ Moore is he even said he's going to have a decline in production this year because the Bears have so many weapons. There's just so many players in Chicago. It's just like he just could get lost in the mix. I mentioned Hill. Breece Hall is not going to get as many catches. And in standard, that's fine. In PPR, that's an issue because Justin Fields is not going to check down. He's going to run more. All right, we're on the clock, and I'm going to do something that, if Kenny were on, he would just berate me for this. So, Kenny, if you're watching, I'm sorry. I'm going to take George Kittle, even though we have McCaffrey. He's like by far the most desirable person here. In fact, I would say Kittle, Burrow, or Hurts. Metcalf is fine too. The problem is like Metcalf was going around 5 like a week or 2 ago, and now it just feels like sticker shock to me. But anyway, like Breece Hall, PPR, not great. Mike Evans is 32, I think. I want to double check that real quick. But yeah, he's definitely getting up there in age, and he's going to be 32 in August. He's getting up there in age. You don't want to take old receivers. That's an easy way to lose in fantasy. James Cook holding out and touchdown regression. Metcalf, like I said, sticker shock. McMillan doesn't love football. I just don't really like him. Jameson Williams, all Detroit's going to decline this year because Ben Johnson's gone and they lost 2 linemen. And then you get to the quarterbacks. So I said, I like Kittle and the 2 quarterbacks here in round 4, even though it feels a little early. I have gotten Burrow and Hurts in round 5, but I just don't like these guys. In fact, there's Courtland Sutton, but I've gotten him in round 5 before. Chuba Hubbard, I've gotten him in round 5 before. Devontae Smith is, I think, a round 5 guy. Travis Hunter, we don't know what he's going to do as a rookie. Is he even going to play offense full time? We don't know. So, like I said, round 4 is this huge dead zone where I'm just taking Kittle or one of the quarterbacks, or maybe Metcalf, and that's it for me. So, and yeah, we can see all these picks went. and this guy took Energy C28. He took Adams and Hill. So his receiving and Henry, his team is all 30-year-olds. So I don't think that's going to work out for him, but we'll see. Let's see. So I like your strategy in this draft: first two players, and then why. Well, I don't. That's funny. I did not notice, but we didn't keep that up. So maybe if I did notice, we could have went with Worthy and I don't know who else. I don't think there's anyone close who ends in Y. Ridley. that's a reach though. That's something that we can keep an eye on in the future. Mike says most leftists are for big government and deep state, which is just the opposite of libertarians. Yeah, and they think they are libertarians, which is the funny thing, and it's like obviously not true. But like in their warped mind, they are libertarians. I don't understand it, and I think they justify it as like, they were pro-vaccine mandates and lockdowns because as in their mind as libertarians, Hurst just went. Like in their mind, like they want the liberty to not get sick. It's just like, okay, that's not libertarian, but nice try. It's so stupid. I can't believe they actually think that. I do actually think they do think that, like, because they're just stupid people. Anyway, so see, I like the picks here more than round 4. Like Hurts, Hubbard. I like Hubbard a lot this year. Carolina's offensive line is awesome. Zay Flowers has spike weeks. He's great in best ball. Cortland Sutton, who went 410, legit number one in Denver. Bo Nix is going to be better this year, and the offensive line's good. Joe Burrow, obviously. Devontae Smith. Not a big fan of Devontae Smith in the 4th round. 5th round's okay. I feel like he should be going like mid round 5. But even he was like a reach there. And then I start to not like these picks, like Hampton. Najee Harris is just standing in his way right now. And Harris doesn't miss games, and Harbaugh's an old school coach. And Pickens is just a head case. Like, I think round 5 is too rich for Pickens. Kenneth Walker, I like. Not crazy about him, but I do like it. Just Seattle's offensive line sucks. And then Travis Hunter goes. I don't know. I think round 5 is much better than round 4, which was going like a couple weeks ago. So, yeah, I did take him once in round 5. I put that on video, actually. Joe Mixon went. So let's. I'm up in 2 picks, so we have to figure out what we're doing here. I don't mind. Oh, Kamara's gone. Ridley. We could stick with the Y theme. We could go Ridley, I guess. Not a huge fan of that. There's Juwan Jennings, Jerry Jeudy, Rome Odunze. Connor just went. So, yeah, this is pretty rough at the end of round 5. I think if Mike Lucien were here, he'd tell me to take Henderson, but we already have week 14 bye running back. So, and Jennings, I have too many 49ers. So, yeah, we're just going to take Ridley, I guess. I'm not crazy about it, but I don't like taking players on bad teams. But Tennessee's offense should be better this year. They improved their offensive line. Cam Ward's definitely going to be an upgrade over Levis and Rudolph. But, I mean, how much of an upgrade we'll see. All right, so we're up again. I think this is between Jerry Jeudy and Rome Odunze. Jordan Addison might face suspension. I think for stacking purposes, we can go with Caleb Williams later. So I'm going to take Odunze. I think Odunze could have a nice, like a really strong year coming up because there's no Keenan Allen, and so he's now like the receiver 2. And with Ben Johnson, like he's just gonna be enhanced. I kind of wonder where he was going last year because I feel like he was like kind of going around this maybe a round or 2 later, but like his situation right now is so much better, and he didn't have a great rookie year, so I think that's why people are down on him. But like just think about how much of a jump second-year receivers make, and I think that you'll probably see that out of Odunze. And don't draft Chris Godwin because he may not play week 1. That was a report that just surfaced recently. Let's see. Okay. Patrick says rewatching Twin Peaks season 3 using ChatGPT to analyze themes, scenes every episode. Great way to supplement the show. Wow, that's so cool. I didn't think of that. What has it said? I'm curious about like what sort of themes and stuff ChatGPT came up with. And yeah, it's I would like to do that eventually. Just rewatch it. I've watched some new shows lately. I watched Sirens. Because the girl who was in House of the Dragon, the initial daughter of the king, she was one of the main characters in the show. It was actually pretty decent. And then I watched the Eight show, as I told you, Patrick. That was so good. I can't stop thinking about it. Like I kind of want to ask my wife if she wants to watch it with me. But we are still in Black Mirror. I did watch that hotel episode, the Hotel Reverie. I kind of liked it. And I know you said you didn't like it. I thought it was pretty good. I think they could have done more with it, where like she tried to just kind of reboot that actress girl's memory or something. But no, I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. Addison goes by the way 6'10". I saw him fall to round 7 earlier today, so I was hoping he would fall to like 7-11, but didn't happen. Let's see. Did you downgrade the Rams from Group A to B after the online news? I don't know what to do with that. Honestly, like, why? So okay, first of all, TVV2 needs to draft better. Like, if you take Hurts, don't take Mahomes, especially 6'12". Like, you can probably get Mahomes at 8'12" at this point. Don't take Mahomes at 6'12". Don't take another quarterback after you take one that early. There's no value. Now if you're getting like, if you took, just say you took I don't know, if you took Allen at 301, for example, and like Hurts falls you at like 501, or not it's not even a good example. If like Hurts falls you at like 612, then yeah, sure, like that's just like too good a value to pass up. Don't do what TVV2 did. And he hasn't taken a running back yet. So, yeah, that would have been a good spot to take a running back. And by the way, he did the same thing with tight end. He took McBride at 212 and Kelsey at 701. That's so stupid. Like, there's no reason to do that. He's just hurting his upside. Take a running back. Like there are good running backs available. Take them. As far as the Rams, I don't know. They're missing only one lineman. If a second lineman goes down, they're going to be in trouble. But if it's only Alaric Jackson, then I think they could be okay. I think they could still be a Group A team. They're going to be worse than they would have been before, but they could still survive. We saw the Eagles in 2017 win the Super Bowl without Jason Peters. They put Halapuli Vaitai in, and he did a fine job. He wasn't great. He did a fine job. Now, like, it depends on like how DJ Humphries performs. He was awful last year. But he was coming off injury, so he could be better this season. We'll see. I'm up in 3 picks, by the way. So I have not adjusted the Rams yet. I might do it. I just don't know if I'm going to yet. We have a running back by 14, so we can take Swift, Jones, or Pacheco. We can take both. We can take 2 of them. We could also take Ricky Pearsall and go like full 49er stack, which would be nice because the Niners have, I've said this so many times, the Niners have the easiest schedule I've ever seen in my life. Their toughest game outside the division is at Houston. Like, they don't play any good teams outside of the division. It's such a joke. And yeah, sometimes it's easy. It's difficult to predict schedules and how they'll go, but man, it's just I think it's easier to predict like bad teams instead of good teams. All right, so right now I think I would take Swift with Ben Johnson coaching him up, but I would definitely like 2 of those. Okay, so he goes. So we could take Jones or Pacheco. It's 50-50 for me. I think I'm more Pacheco than Jones, so I'll go Jones. But it could be really either one, and I'm down to take Pacheco or Pearsall or Hawkinson here. Oh, no Hawkinson. We have Kittle. So I must did what TVV did. If I didn't have Kittle, I would love Hawkinson here, but we don't need him. All right, so it depends what he has. So Pollard goes. And we'll see what he is. So Tyron Tracy goes. So I can take both. Buy-wise, does it matter? It does not. Do we want to really go with Pearsall when we have Kittle and McCaffrey? I don't think so. Let's go with Pacheco. Although we only have 4 receivers. That's kind of scary. I like to exit round 8 with 5 receivers. But you know what? Let's go Pacheco. Let's just see how it goes. I would still like Purdy around 9, or 10-02, whatever. But we need a 5th receiver with one of these 2 picks. So hopefully we get one. Okay, let's go here. Yeah. So Patrick says, I found there are a lot of progressives whose voices I like for foreign policy. Aaron Mates, Max Blumenthal, Matt Taibbi, Glenn Greenwald. We just disagree with them on domestic policies. Yeah, I mean, look, you can't agree with with people on everything. You know, there are always going to be disagreements, and you shouldn't agree with everyone and everything. Like, you know, people have different perspectives and stuff, and it would be boring if we all agreed on stuff. So, yeah, I get it though. Yeah, I just hope that we don't go into this war. Maybe tonight should pepper Walter Football with questions tonight, Mike. Yes. Oh, please ask all the questions you got. You can I can take all the questions here. Like, what else am I gonna do? Like, if you guys don't ask questions, I'll just be sitting here by myself analyzing these picks, which, you know, we will do. But I feel like I've done that a lot, so I definitely want to do questions. If you guys have anything, you can ask. It doesn't have to be about football. You can ask anything. I'm definitely here to answer everything. And by the way, I am going to Vegas in a month and 4 days. So that week we will be missing one episode, I think. We've been missing the Wednesday episode. I fly out on Wednesday. But that's in a month or so. So I'll definitely remind you guys. But yeah, like I said before, next week is gonna be tough because the NBA draft is gonna be running, and like that's gonna end like after midnight, and I don't know if, like, that first night I'll have to do the round 2 mock draft, and then that Thursday night I don't know how long round 2 is gonna last, so we'll see what happens. I don't know if we're gonna have episodes Wednesday and Thursday next week because the NBA draft. I'm gonna be posting live grades like I do for the NFL draft, but we'll have episodes Tuesday and Saturday. That's for sure. Okay, so Purdy's let's say Purdy's still available. There he goes. So this guy, Eagles fan Bomba, decided to sack Pearsall with Purdy. So maybe I should have taken Pearsall to prevent that from happening, right? I mean, I don't care. Look, stacking is fun. It's generally a good thing. You want to stack if you can, but it's not like the end all be all. I think people overstack. Like I was listening to a show. I can't remember who it was, and they were doing a live mock draft, and it was a real draft, best ball draft. And they're like, yeah, I like this guy, but let me take this other guy because the stacking. And I'm like, well, should take the better player. This is not like regular DraftKings where you're playing for 1 week, and I guess like you are playing for week 17, but still, like, you have to get there, and you need good players. So I get it, but I wouldn't go out of my way to take bad players or lesser players just for stacking purposes. Jared Goff goes, I have not drafted Jared Goff one time. Same thing with Kyler Murray. I have not taken him a single time. And I think I only took Baker Mayfield once. I think he's going a little too early. His offensive coordinator is gone. I like Igbuka. I was kind of hoping that he would last to us. He did not. Pittman's still there. I like Pittman, so I'll start him. Actually, I probably shouldn't start people because people might be watching, which we've experienced that before. All right, Justin Fields is here. Caleb Williams is here. I like both. We have Odunze, so I'm inclined to take Williams. But I could definitely go in a different direction too. I feel like you don't need to stack. In fact, I think it's better if you don't stack Fields. So Fields goes, our decision's easier. Let's just see if what this team has done. So this team has not drafted a quarterback, so we should take a quarterback, and he has 5 receivers. So hopefully he doesn't take Pittman. We're going to take Caleb Williams as our quarterback, and we're going to see what C. Wolford does. He takes Charbonnet and Javonte Williams. So one good sleeper running back, one crappy running back. So we get Michael Pittman Jr. to be our 5th receiver. So I feel better about that situation now. And by the way, I always have to look at Stochastic and just make fun of them because they're kind of like rudderless at this point. DJ Moore 312 is ridiculous. Xavier Worthy, I'm not a huge fan of 401, but I can see it. He took the pyramid scheme. Jalen Waddle 512. I do like Pollard. A little early for Tracy. Javonte Williams is a bum. But I mean, like, he started Collins Thomas. It's hard to hate that. But yeah, I wouldn't expect anyone from Stochastic to win anything. I would not recommend Stochastic. Let's see. Walt can't hide behind his guest tonight. He's on his own. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I am. No guest to hide behind here. Maybe I should just send this link out to people. I don't know. I don't care. I was like I said earlier. I'm like, should I invite anyone? I probably could have gotten like either Butters or Nuggets to come on. I don't know. I didn't ask them, but they're always like they're so reliable. I feel like anytime I ask them to come on, like they're always happy to. Like I love having them on. But like I said before, like I just didn't know how late the NBA game would end, so I didn't want to be like, hey, would you like to come on? But it might be this time, it might be that time. I just didn't know. So I just kind of let that go, and I figured I'd fly solo tonight. But always love having Mike Lachine on. He's so knowledgeable. Let's see. ChatGPT pointed out how Dougie is tabula rasa. That's a clean slate. Has to experience the world from scratch. Also, Switchboard have numbers 3 and 15, and episodes 3 where 3 is Holy Trinity and 15 is imperfection. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, that's awesome to watch like that. Yeah, really cool, really cool. I wonder if you could do that with like Lost and stuff like that, but Twin Peaks is so deep, such a deep show. I don't think there's anything like it. And Patrick, have you seen anything like that? I mean, like there's certain episodes of Black Mirror and stuff, but as far as like a show that has the same characters over and over again, that is pretty crazy. Cam Scatabo. I keep seeing Cam Scatabo. Like why? Round 10. He's the third running back on the team. If he were like round 12, round 13, I could get it. I don't see why he would go there. Sue says, I'm high on the Ravens, but they have 8 games against teams you have a group A or B. Is theirs the toughest schedule going in? I didn't look at like the toughest schedule. It's hard to say because like they have 2 games against the Cardinals and 2 games against the Seahawks, which are winnable, and 2 games against the Niners, which don't seem that bad. Like the Niners are, they're going to accumulate a lot of wins this year, but they're not that good. They just have the easiest schedule, and they have a lot of good players. They just have no depth. So the division's manageable. Like I would suspect like a team in the NFC North would have the toughest schedule because the NFC North is stacked. So I probably like the team like probably like the Packers or something. I'm just like talking out of my butt here, but like the Packers have to play the Lions twice, the Vikings twice, which is brutal, and then the Bears twice, who are going to be better. Or like the Bears might have the toughest schedule because they have to play the Packers twice, the Lions twice, and the Vikings twice. And then I don't know what their outside the division is, but anyway, we need a second quarterback or quarterback by week 5, so no Michael Penix. I wish you could X out players. That's like the one thing I wish DraftKings had here. You can't do that. But yeah, you need 3 quarterbacks in best ball. Outside of quarterbacks, we could take Dobbins. He's fine. We did take McCaffrey, so we don't have to take Orlando. I love Drake May. I think he's going to do a lot better this year. He's going to have a good coach. Better offensive line, still not that good, but better. And then who do we have at tight end? We already have Kittle. We don't need a tight end. Thielen fell to like round 15 or 16. I almost took him, but he went like the pick before. All right, we're going to take Drake May. Again, stochastic guy doesn't have a quarterback, so I don't want to risk not getting Drake May. So Dobbins is interesting. We have, we don't have a week 12 running back, so we can take Dobbins, I guess. So a stochastic guy took Trevor Lawrence. I assume he's going to take another quarterback because he only has one. But we'll see. What does he do? He takes Trevor Lawrence because he has Thomas. Is Stroud available? No, he's not. Okay, he does not take another running back. He takes Tajay Spears or quarterback. He takes Tajay Spears. I don't have Dobbins in too many leagues or drafts, but I am down to take him here. So I suspect he's going to get most of the early down work. And definitely most of the third down work. Maybe he's going to split 50-50 with Harvey. I'm not a big Harvey guy. I've talked about that before. Like I like he can make defenders miss, but I've compared him like Miles Sanders in that like he needs like the open field to do well. Like he's not a good runner. Like he's not going to find a lot of running lanes. But he's gonna, the offensive line's good in Denver, so he could produce if he gets the starting job. I just think that like he's going to be inefficient, and I can see Sean Payton just getting frustrated with him because he's going to dance around a lot behind the line of scrimmage. Mike says Alex Jackson could be back before the end of the year. I was like Jackson, super steal for the Rams. He only fell in the draft because Warp's got all the attention in Iowa. Yeah, he could be back. I hope he will be back. We have a lot of exactas on the Rams, which I paused, by the way, for our free bets. And we actually hit our no sweat bet in baseball tonight. It's like the one good gambling thing that happened today. We won that one, so we don't get to place more bets on the Bills to beat the Vikings or whatever it is. But yeah, we almost finished up with the Rams, and then that news hits. Like, of course, I still do like them, but I kind of pissed, and I don't know if we can get a better number now, but yeah, it just sucks to hear that news, especially if you invested in them. Going to Vegas, will you be wearing a helmet this time when you go to the pool? Yeah, to avoid getting killed by the water bottles. I should, I'm not going to be staying at the Cosmopolitan this time. I think. Where am I staying? I think I'm staying at the Tuscany. Is it Tuscany? It's one of the ones that sounds like Italian. I can't remember. But yeah, no. I think it's Tuscany. But yeah, it's so I don't. It's like a quieter place. That's what I'm thinking of. It's Tuscany. It's a quieter place. I don't expect a lot of rowdy people. It's off the strip too, which is the first time I'll be staying off the strip, which I don't like. I like to stay in the middle of the strip because I like to walk to all the sports books. But the thing is, like, I have to go to Tuscany twice anyway. Once to meet up with Andy, who comes on the show, because he's my proxy for the Super Contest, and once more to place my bets at Circa once I analyze everything. Now this actually saves me a couple trips to the Tuscany, and Andy, who he hates driving on the strip, he will never drive to the strip. He will drive to Tuscany, so like he will actually drive me back to my hotel. So I can actually do that this time. But Andy's an awesome guy. I can't wait to have. We always have brunch together when I go out to Vegas. So I look forward to that a lot. Just have some interesting conversations, and I think last time we actually had brunch at the Tuscany, which is they had a good. I think they had a. Not, I think no, actually I'm thinking of the Westgate. They had a good buffet there, but I think we also did have brunch at the Tuscany last year. I'm not sure. I think 2 years ago it was brunch at the Westgate, and last year I think it was Tuscany, but I'm not quite sure. Yeah, anyway, that was I'm looking forward to meeting up with Andy, and of course he'll be on the show later this summer and during the season. We need a third quarterback. Stafford's there. I'll take him if he's available. Otherwise, I'm not dying to take anyone here. Running backs. I love running backs in this range. How many? We have 4. We need a 5th receiver as well, a 6th receiver as well. I like Tillman. I like Pierce as mid-round guys in best ball. And then you have Ray Davis. You have Tyler Algier, Jalen Wright, Roschon Johnson, who I'm not quite sure about Johnson anymore. I'll get into that later. There's Shipley, Justice Hill. So we're gonna start a bunch of guys and see what happens. Stafford comes off the board. So I could take Geno Smith, I suppose. So we could take like Geno Smith and Jack Betch. I don't know how good that is, but Geno Smith had some good games last year. Like fantasy points wise, he's 26, 26. 28, 22, 25, 20. He's okay. As a third quarterback. But what we could do was wait for like Richardson or Daniel Jones, which I think is probably better. Anyway, so let's look at who's available. According to ranks, we have Algiers, our top player available. But we can take Betch and then Geno. That's kind of interesting. I haven't really done that. Yeah, let's do that. Let's take Jack Batch. I always call him Jake Batch. Jack Batch, and then we will take Gino as our next quarterback if he's available. See, Wolford could take him, but we needed a sixth receiver anyway, so it's fine. So Geno Smith goes, of course. All right, I'm not like too concerned about it. Let's take Algier because if Bijan goes down, then we will have a second round running back production. So yeah, let's go back to the draft board, and then let's see what else we have here. Let's see. Mike says NBA and NHL drafts are pretty lame compared to the NFL draft. Don't you think? Yeah, NFL NHL is definitely the worst. Although like MLB draft is pretty terrible too. The problem with MLB and NHL draft is that they're drafting players who probably won't contribute for like years. They'll go into the minors and they'll just stay there for like 2 or 3 years, and then they'll come up. Like it's usually rare that you'll see a player like come up right away. NBA draft, at least those guys play right away. Now that's not like true for every player. You'll see like some team will take a European player, and that's the most frustrating thing as a fan. They'll take a European player, and the guy on TV will be like, "Oh, that's a guy that can stash overseas for 3 years," and I'm like, wait, why don't they just play him now? I know that like, yeah, he's not ready, but like, if he's not ready, why is he entering the NBA draft now? That always really frustrated me. I feel like if you enter the NBA draft, you should be able to play right away, and like those European guys should just stay overseas. So I think that just hurts the NBA draft. But otherwise, like it's definitely not the NFL draft, but it's still fun. I think I always like for years I would always watch the NBA draft with my dad, like every single year. And it started when the Sixers took Sean Bradley first overall. I think that was '93. So this is a long time. I missed one draft because I was working for the Westchester Daily Local. But otherwise, we watch it every year. But now I haven't watched it with him for a few years because one year is away in business too. But I haven't watched it with him for a few years because I have kids now. I just feel bad like leaving my wife like alone with the 2 kids, which I guess I could do now because like we don't have for the first time we won't have like an infant at home. My daughter's gonna be 2 in a couple months, so I don't know if that's just like pretty much a toddler now. So is my son. So like it's easier. Like I put them both to bed on my own. I've done that before, so she can do it. So I could do that, but then I don't know. It just feels weird to like leave my kids at home, and my wife goes to sleep early, so everyone's gonna be asleep except for my dog. She's crazy, but so anyway, like I don't know, it just feels wrong to just go watch the NBA draft. My dad, I don't know. You can always come here if you're watching that. You just come here. Anyway, Jalen Wright goes. I love Jalen Wright. He's we did a show last night on like the top 10 players we drafted. I think he was like 4th or 5th. He has immense potential. Will Shipley goes. That's heartbreaking. Love Shipley. He has insane upside. Like these guys just have crazy upside. We don't have too many players left on all that. Like those guys we starred. There's only 3 left. In fact, like the running backs are just kind of depressing at this point. It's Rico Doodle, I guess. Which he usually goes earlier than this. It's kind of weird to see him here. Receiver Pierce is great in best ball because he goes nuts like 3 or 4 times a week, or 3 or 4 times a year. And so you definitely want to capture those weeks. We only have 1 tight end, so we have to take 2 more eventually, but not necessarily now. And we have 2 quarterbacks, so we can start looking at Richardson. Although I think we can wait 2 rounds for that, but hopefully, we only have 2 star players left, so hopefully we get some of them. I'm going to start Rico Doodle too, and then I think Jarquez Hunter, not this round, but he's someone that you should keep an eye on. What Sean McVay said, he was the Jarquez Hunter is the one guy he wanted on day 3, and he got him this year. So he could take over for Blake Corum as the RB2, and then we know Kyron Williams goes down with injuries, so Jarquez Hunter could take over eventually. We have 5 running backs, so we only need 1 more. It's not like too pressing. So we're gonna be up in 3 picks, and we'll see who we get. Hunter Henry goes. let's see. BKGJ says, FL, there's a limited number of players we can feel better about reliably than field plus injuries. There's a limited number of players we can feel better about reliably. I'm not sure what you mean by that. So, I mean, yeah, please explain. All right, we're going to be up next. I'm leaning Doodle because I really don't have Doodle very much, and he's going to catch passes, I guess. And then Alec Pierce. The other guy drafting here is 5 running backs, 6 receivers. So, yeah, it could be either one. Doodle's the best player available. He might take Doodle. As far as buys are concerned, yeah, we're fine. Let's just take Doodle, I guess, as our 6th running back. And I don't think we need another running back necessarily. So let's see what C. Wolford does. So he takes Alec Pierce. Okay, so he finally made a good pick. And then I think we can start looking at. I think we can take Richardson here. Not like crazy about it, but because there's a chance he slides down to us in round 17, but it's going to be a long time until we draft, and we need a 3rd quarterback. So between Richardson and Jones, we're going to take whomever Wolford doesn't pick. He only has 2 quarterbacks as well. He's in the same dilemma. So he takes Jones. We're just going to take Richardson. Just F it. Yeah, our quarterback bye weeks are 5, 14, 11, so we're good there. Which I probably should have checked before. I didn't think it was. I didn't think we needed, or we had to avoid a week 11 bye quarterback, but still. But Richardson was like the last viable quarterback left. Look, he may not play. He has a shoulder injury, but I think it's fine. Let's see. What else do we have? ChatGPT also pointed out the reason Nin was picked for episode 8 instead of more dreamy Roadhouse music. Oh, then 9 Inch Nails. Instead of more dreamy Roadhouse music is that this episode where Evil Bob was born from. Yeah, that was so cool. It's so bizarre. Like that, the Roadhouse is just like some bar in like the small Eastern Washington town. And it's like, can you imagine just being there? You're some local yokel who shows up, and it's like the guy on stage like, give it up for the 9 Inch Nails. It's like, what are they doing here? That was such a good performance by them. It was perfect. It was perfect music for what happened in that episode. It's so good. I sometimes just rewatch that 9 Inch Nails performance. It's so good. Let's see. Patch says Leftovers. Yeah, Leftovers make closest show of deep themes. Yeah. Non-touches Twin Peaks, though, with humor, style, performance, and abstract storytelling nature. I can't believe season 2 finale was aired on network TV. Yeah, that's wild. The season 2 finale is just like horrifying. Like that's just like horrifying TV. So good. You could tell like David Lynch was back. That was incredible TV, and then season 3 topped it. It was so good. I missed that show. I wish David Lynch made a 4th season. But I don't know. The way they ended season 3, I thought was perfect. The line. I watch this sometimes too. This one scene where Colin McLaughlin he goes, and the little guy's like, "What about the FBI?" And he goes, "I am the FBI." And it's like, I've watched like fan reactions to that. It's incredible. You're like, yeah, it's so great. Yeah, I'm gonna miss that show. I really will. Yeah, but Leftovers you're right. Like Leftovers is a pretty close one. And I couldn't really talk about this because Tom was on. But like the not controversial, but like the unknown part of that show at the end when I can't remember I can't remember names. It's been a while since I watched it, but the guy's wife, she talked about how she visited the other place, and she talked about like how she came back and stuff, and like she saw her family, and like you don't know if she's telling the truth. Like that, like your thoughts about the ending can like vary differently based on whether you think she's telling the truth or not. It's just so open ended. It's insane, and I kind of like wish that we had the answer, but at the same time, I kind of don't. At the same, you know what I mean? Like it's weird. Anyway, we need tight ends here. Juwan Johnson's available. There's really no upside with him, but he's going to produce a little bit. Our one tight end is week 14. We can take Taysom Hill, I guess. I love Higbee. I'll take him in round 19 if we need to. But I think that we can get him in round. We could get him around 19. I said we could take him right now if we need to, but we could take him around 19. Jarvis Hunter is interesting. Keaton Mitchell's interesting too, because he can explode just on any given play. But given like what Sean McVay said about Hunter, I'm inclined to take him as our 7th and final running back, and yeah, we'll take a tight end after that, unless this guy. So this guy only has one tight end. Let's take our tight end here. I don't want to take Higbee yet because we can get him later. Let's just go with Juwan Johnson. Let's just screw this fantastic guy over. So let's see what he does. He only has one tight end. Who is that? Sam Laporta. So I guess like he doesn't like is not dying for a tight end, but he's kind of in the same boat. So he took Keaton Mitchell. Okay, so he's taking some decent picks. Deontay Thornton I like a lot too. Yeah, which I guess maybe he's thinking he's going to get Higbee. But I assure you will not, my friend. We will take Jarquez Hunter as our last running back, and then we'll take Higbee or someone else, and then our final pick will be someone hopefully to pair with one of our guys, our quarterbacks. I mean, and like I'm not really seeing anyone, so we'll draft something. I actually have like this name up my sleeve, and I'll show it to you guys at 2002. Okay, so but yeah, anyway, Patrick, yeah, I was saying that like, yeah, you don't really know what to think about that ending because you don't know if that woman was telling the truth or not. And there's definitely evidence to suggest that she's lying. And I was watching a video on it, and like they actually like broke down like why she was lying. Which like I don't know. When I was watching it live, I'm like I just I believed everything she said just because you're watching it in real time. But then I was thinking about it. And I was like, what if she wasn't telling the truth? Like, there's no evidence, and her story like seems sketchy to me. And then there are all sorts of videos saying that like she was lying the whole time. So, if you guys haven't seen Leftovers, watch Leftovers. So good. Sue says, I see after round 1 there's a tie for the lead. SS is Scotty Scheffler 7-5, and some guy named Eckroat is 25-1. Surely you're going to do an early head. No, Eckroat's not a good golfer. I'll show you guys. So we can do this real quick. So let's look at Scheffler's Pentagon for instance. So this is what an elite golfer looks like. Is around the greens, awesome approach, elite, good putting, good not great driving distance, good accuracy. This guy's awesome. Let's take a look at Eckroat, Austin Eckroat, who look at this tiny little shape here. He's not going to do anything. His around the greens awful. Approach play is slightly above average. Putting, and this is going to be a birdie fest. He's going to miss some he's going to miss some putts. The only thing he does well is accuracy. And look at his finishes this year. Before this, 57th, 46th, 67th, 51st, cut, 32nd, cut, 61st, 34th, cut. He's had 2 top 15 finishes. Last one was February 2nd, Groundhog Day. I am not concerned about Eckroat. We'll look. If we have to hedge, we'll hedge. If he's there in round 4 contending, we'll hedge. But I'm not. I have no interest in hedging with Eckroat. I mean, like McIlroy's 2 back. Like I think it makes more sense to hedge with McIlroy. But given that they took his driver away, I don't know. I'm not like too concerned about him either. We'll see. I'm super confident in Scheffler. Let's see. Was he if inefficient in college? Who were you talking about? Like you left this comment. Looks like 18 minutes ago. So sorry, BKGG. I feel like I'm not answering your questions here. I'm sorry. I don't know what you're talking about. But you'll have to clarify. Tuscany is nice. Okay, glad you know that's nice. Is 1 block? Yes, it's right near the strip. It's not too far. I don't know if I could walk there or whatever, but just Uber is cheap enough. I'll just take some Ubers, or Andy will drive me too. But anyway, it was super cheap. That's like why I stayed there. And actually, I was expecting to spend like close to $2,000 on this trip because I initially was going to go during the weekend, and And what happened was I was looking at prices and like during the week it was so cheap. Like I asked my wife, I'm like, is it okay if I go during the week? Because it's tougher with her for the kids. And she's like, yeah, I don't care. And I'm like, okay. So I was looking at prices and like the hotel I wanted to stay at, the Waldorf, like during the week it was like $1,000. Um, and then my wife was like, "Hey, can you do the weekend?" As she's like, "It's gonna be really rough during the week because she works and stuff." And I was like, "Okay." So I was like, "It's gonna be a lot more expensive," and she's like, "Yeah, that's fine." She's like, "Yeah, it's fine. It's my money." I mean, my money. So anyway, so I. By the way, Higbee's still there. Hopefully, he left. Joe Cooker goes. We're gonna draft Higbee right away and break this guy's hearts. Okay, we're gonna take Higbee. And so I was looking at prices and like it was like $2,000 or like it was like let's say $1,700 for the weekend because it's kind of close, and I want to do nonstop flight. All right, this guy I have my sleeve is Arian Smith. I've read good reports about him in training camp. He has such great speed. The only question with him is his hands. He drops a lot of passes, but so far so good. He hasn't dropped many passes in minicamp. So I've been taking Arian Smith in around 20. I think he went round 4. I had him in round 3 of like as a prospect. So I like him. As a round 20 guy, like just take a shot. I think it's pretty good. I also like Marquez Valdes-Scantling there. So let's sign up for a second draft. If it doesn't fill in like 10 minutes, we'll sign off after we finish the questions. But if we okay, well, we're gonna go right away. Well, hold on. We'll recap this team and just do this. So we went Christian McCaffrey 111. And we didn't take a running back after that for a while, which, like, why would you with McCaffrey? So we took Jones and Pacheco. So I feel like we have 3 good starting running backs, and then Dobbins, Algier, Doodle, Hunter. Like, I feel like we're pretty stacked at running back. Receiver McConkey, McLaurin, Ridley, Adunze. It's a decent quartet. It's not like amazing. Love McConkey, McLaurin, but Ridley, I really wanted someone else there, and so Ridley, I think that was like a slight reach, but there's really no one else there. Adunze, I like him. And then we took Pittman, Betch, and then Arian Smith at the end. I'm thinking about it. Like, I feel like we should have probably drafted Pierce here instead of Doodle if I had to redo something. Quarterback, Caleb Williams, Drake May primarily, and then Richardson has upside. Round 16, like what are you going to get there that has more upside? And then tight ends, we have Kittle. So he's going to lead the way for us. And then I love Higbee. You guys know I have him in like 80% of leagues. Made Ben Wassley spit out his drink when I told him how many leagues he was in of mine. And then Juwan Johnson. And then Arian Smith at the end. So yeah, I like to see him. I did well. I just wish that we got something better 5'11", and I wish that we went Pierce instead of Doodle. But that's picking nits there. Here, where are we drafting? We're drafting at 8. Okay, so a little different than 11. All right, let's go back to all right. So Tuscany, yeah. So anyway, to finish what I was saying, staying the weekend is so much more expensive, and so it was like most of the hotels I wanted to stay at was $2,000, and then I saw Tuscany, it was like $1,050. I'm like, that's what I was going to pay anyway, and I was like, why is it so much cheaper? And I looked their weekly price, and their weekly price was like $500. I'm like, oh my god, I could have stayed here for 4 nights, 3 days for $500. Like that's insane. So yeah, I mean, look, I hope it's nice. Like that might be my full-time place. They apparently they have an indoor lap pool, which I love. I swim like primarily for exercise, and I don't get to do that often. And I told my wife, I'm like, hey, they have an indoor lap pool. She's like, well, I'm glad you get to have a good time. I'm like working out's a good time. It's just like something you need to do. But yeah, no. Hopefully it is nice. I would love to stay there cheaply, and hopefully the price is down because like the Waldorf, which I've stayed at more than any other place, that is like pretty expensive. And so I like to book that like way in advance, especially on weekdays. But given the kids and stuff, you have to make sure the schedules line up and whatnot. Like it's a lot more complicated now. Plus, I had this thing. I had to wait to schedule my trip to Vegas because someone tried to book a cruise on my credit card, which I saw right away because I'm super meticulous with like my credit card stuff. Derrick Henry 105. What is that? All right, we're up in a couple of picks. We have Gibbs, Nakua, McCaffrey to choose from. I love Neighbors, but it's good to get some more variety here. We took McCaffrey last time. We could take Nakua this time. There is a downgrade to the Rams players. Actually, I'm kind of like itching to take Neighbors, to be honest. I think I have more Nakua than Neighbors. I think Neighbors just gonna have this massive year. It's his second year. Like he was awesome last year. He's gonna be so much better this year. Let's take Malik Neighbors. It's kind of like shake things up here and see what happens. I think he's going too late. Neighbors could. I said before I would put him ahead of Lamb for sure, and he could be up there with Chase and Jefferson this year. And the two guys we were considering, Nakua and McCaffrey just went. I'm sure like Megan Ray and Tailgate guys are like, oh, this idiot took the Neighbors over Nakua and McCaffrey. I don't know. I think you could definitely make the case for that. Genty goes 112. Anyway, no, the Waldorf is really expensive. But anyway, yeah. So someone booked a cruise on my credit card, and I check this stuff every night. Every night before I go to bed, I check my bank accounts, I check my credit card stuff, just for this sort of thing. I found it right away, and so I called my credit card. I called my credit card company the day after. We're gonna be up next. Let's see who we're gonna take. Bowers just went. I'm going to take AJ Brown. So we're going to go NFC East receivers here. You could make the case for Taylor. I'd rather have Brown. So anyway, I asked my wife. I'm like, did you book a cruise? Because she booked the cruise for her parents for their anniversary before as a gift for them. And I thought that maybe she did the same for their wedding anniversary coming up, and she used my credit card by accident. And she said no. So I'm like, okay, so this is definitely fraudulent. So I canceled. Lamar Jackson, what is Pat Sanick doing? Henry, he could have gotten Jackson at 305, maybe. I don't know. I don't know for sure, but man, we got a Ravens fan here. I don't know. Stacking Henry and Jackson does not seem like the smartest move. I don't know what he's doing. I think we might have we might have a guy paying the rake here. We'll see. But no, yeah. So I had to wait for a new credit card and whatnot. So anyway, my point is that like if some loser didn't book a cruise on my credit card, I could have done this earlier and saved money. But they ended up costing me money. But it wasn't like that big a deal. Like the credit card company they're like, okay, we'll get rid of this charge right away. So yeah. Anyway, that ended up just fine. Both quarterbacks went round 2, by the way, which is interesting because we saw both of them go round 3 last draft. Anyway, let's see. Roschon is terrible. Well, here's the thing. Roschon is their goal line back as of now. This might change. We don't know. But we know Ben Johnson loves utilizing multiple running backs. We saw what he did with Jamal Williams, and then we saw what he did with Dave Montgomery. Like he could use Roschon in the same sort of deal, same facet, because like Swift is not like a goal line back. So if Chicago scores a ton of points, which I feel like they could with all their talent and their coaching and their improved offensive line, then you can see Roschon scoring a lot of touchdowns. The problem, though, and this is why I was thinking before, I was like, I've kind of soured a little bit of Roschon, is because their 7th round pick, Kyle Monangai, has been looking good in minicamp. And he's their new guy. Like he's the guy that Ben Johnson drafted. And so Ben Johnson might favor Monangai over Roschon Johnson. So I've been drafting Monangai in round 20, like here and there, a couple occasions. If like I need a running back, he's my go-to in round 20. But we'll see. He may not do anything this year. He might just be a special teamer. But I think that there might be something to that. So we'll see. And like if he explodes during the preseason and stuff, if he looks great, then his ADP is going to rise. So like this is like the beauty of drafting early now. And I always hear people be like, "Why are you drafting now?" You don't really draft until 2 months from now. Like, well, first of all, it's good practice, and second, you can get ahead of the curve. Like Monangai is a good example. Like if his ADP rises, like you're going to have to pay a premium for him. All right, we're up next. There's some good players available. Chase Brown, Jack Smith, and Jigba. Love both those guys. I would happily take either. I mean, and then I would put Marvin Harrison Jr. third, and then we get to the group that is the round 4 dead zone. So glad to be drafting at 8 here. I feel like eight's a good number to be drafting. Chase Brown went. Okay, so we're going to take Jackson Smith and Jigba. We're going to go triple receiver to start this draft and see how that goes. 'Cause I did a draft earlier today where I drafted 2 running backs in the first 3 rounds. So it's good to do both strategies. All right, we've officially entered the dead zone. So we're going to be looking at Kittle and the 2 quarterbacks in 405. Anyway, Lions. So it says Lions not make the playoffs plus 200 at Bet365 is the futures play on your radar. Yes, I think you could definitely do that. I think that I think in my season preview, off the top of my head, which not posted yet. I just posted Chiefs today. I don't think I have the Lions making the playoffs. So 2-1 is good. It's a good deal. I've said before I can't bet on Bet365 for some reason. Like for some reason they can't recognize my location, and it's not my computer because I tried on my phone too. They just can't do it. I have no idea why. It's so frustrating. I pulled all my funds from that account. I never made a bet there. I put my funds in. They couldn't read my location, and I just stopped trying. All right. We have both quarterbacks, and we have George Kittle. I think there's a chance, very slight chance that okay. So here's my thinking. We went Kittle last time. We have AJ Brown. I'm gonna go Jalen Hurts to complete the stack. I think there is a slight chance one of the quarterbacks comes back to us at 508, but it is a very small chance. Jaden Daniels was one too, so there might be a run. The guy who took Chase, for example, might take Burrow. And then we could see something where like someone takes Hurts and Devontae Smith. They're like, oh, I can stack here. We actually did that with Butters, the one draft. So Kenny, again, this is a pick that Kenny would be like, Walt, what are you doing? Take quarterback later. But round, as I said before, round 4 is just this dead zone. I hate all these players. Burrow goes. So yeah, I don't think that Hurts would have made it back to us. So yeah, like I just want to get my elite quarterback or elite tight end here. I don't want any of these guys in round 4. I don't know why round 4 just sucks, but maybe that'll change. But I don't know, or maybe I'll feel better about Metcalf. But like even if I do, Metcalf's like the only one guy. So like Kamara, he's so old and he plays for a bad team. Don't take players in bad teams. Kamara is really talented, but like that you're not going to do well taking players in bad teams. And I say this as I took Malik Neighbors. I just think like Neighbors is just a special player. I think he's an exception. Anyway, Patch says, what's your go-to Wawa order being in Philly? They have ranch and pickles quesadilla currently. That's actually really good. I love meatball and cheese. I don't know if we call it a hoagie, but meatball and cheese sandwich, whatever. Oh man, I've been eating that for decades. I remember being being in college and like my friends and I, we'd go out and then we stop by Wawa and like we'd all get like meatball and cheese. It's it's so good. I love meatball and cheese. That's my go-to usually. Sometimes I'll get chicken parm sub. I guess you call it sub or hoagie. What else do I get? I do like their quesadillas. The pizza is actually not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. They have a queso burger, which is really good. What else? They have good salads too. Wawa has so much good food. The only thing I don't like at Wawa is their pasta. Their mac and cheese is mediocre, and their spaghetti sucks. Don't get their spaghetti. It's just really bad. Everything else though is like top notch. I love Wawa so much. And in fact, I think I'm gonna go there because we had chicken and rice for dinner, and I'm not a rice fan. I just really don't like. First of all, I think it's so bland, and like I know you can season it up and stuff. I don't know. I'm just never a big fan of rice. And second, like it never fills me up. Like it never fills me up long term. Like it'll fill me up like right away. And I guess like it makes sense if you're like a normal person and you go to sleep at like 9 or 10. As I say, like this is 12:30 a.m. talking to you guys. Like my wife goes to bed at 9. Like it's perfect for her because it fills her up and then she goes to sleep. Like for me, I'm going to sleep at 6 a.m. Like so, this is like I have 12 hours to kill here. So sometimes Chris Godwin 505. What the heck's that? This Pat Sanic guy is just like I don't know what he's saying. Anyway, we have to make this pick here. We can take Sutton as our 4th receiver. We don't have a running back yet. I love Sutton, Flowers, and Mixon all here. I'm inclined to go Mixon, but if he's off the board, then I think I would take Sutton. And who knows? Maybe one of them come back to us. I don't think that's going to happen, but it could. Yeah, we're just going to see what CB at Millport does. And he takes Sutton. All right, let's go Mixon. And I actually told Kenny yesterday that I wanted my Mixon ownership to rise. So here we go. Anyway, yeah, no, Rice is just not for me because I have to wait 12 hours to go to sleep. And so usually when we have rice, I'm always going to Wawa like around midnight and getting dinner. Like that's rare. Like if we have like spaghetti or tacos or pizza, like I'm not going to Wawa because I don't need to. But rice for some reason just fills me up for 2 or 3 hours and then I'm hungry afterward. Just without fail. And that's why I don't like rice. That's one of the reasons I don't like rice. Second is I don't think it's very good. And third, it just gets everywhere, which if you don't have kids, it's not a problem. But if you have kids, then yeah, it's a mess. You have to clean all of it up. And unfortunately, we had to put our dog down a week and a half ago. And like he was like the human vacuum, or he was the canine vacuum cleaner. He would like gobble everything up. And like we have a second dog, but she's so particular in what she eats. And yeah, like he's gone, so we don't like it's like my wife was saying, she's like, I have to clean the floors now because Sherlock's gone. And it was like actually sad. Like when I was talking to my son, and he's like, "When's Sherlock coming back?" And like, I'm gonna take Jennings here because why not? So he's like, "When's Sherlock coming back?" And like, my wife explained to him that he died. And with the first night, he's like, "We need to get Sherlock back." And I was like sad. And then the last night, not the last night, he was like, he's like, "Daddy, when is Sherlock gonna be done dying?" And I was like, oh, man, he still doesn't get that he's not coming back. Just sad. Um, but anyway, yeah. That's the reasons why I don't like rice. Anyway, Walt's Higby ownership rate that's 98%. No, Sandra, I made Ben Wassey spit out his drink when we were doing the show because I was like Ben, what do you think my Higby ownership is? And he's like, in his Australian accent, he's like 45%. I'm like 81%. He's like, he was drinking at the time. He like spat out his drink. Oh man, I don't like what. It's not a risk, Like you don't want if you're drafting someone like round 8 or round 9, 10, etc., or even earlier. Like you don't want that much of an ownership on anyone. Like that's insane. But you're talking round 19, like if Higby busts, like it doesn't really affect my team. It's just all upside, It only affects my team for like the weeks where I would need him for buys, But I don't know. I feel like he has potential to be a top like a tight end 1 this year. Not like one. He's not going to be Bowers or anything. He's not going to be Kittle, but he could be tight end 9, tight end 10 this year. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Like I mean, we saw what he did in the playoffs. Stafford loves him. He's going to keep targeting him. Cooper Kupp's gone, so the middle of the field is his. And I know they have Adams, but they play different roles. So anyway, Walt was inefficient in college. Well, yes and no. So school wise, I was pretty inefficient because I was always going to class late. In fact, I took a final drunk. I was drunk out of my mind. I wrote about it in my book. Please buy my book. Pacheco goes 702. We got him. Where did we get him last time? 802, I think. Yeah, school wise, I was inefficient. But the reason for that is because I was working on my website like at then, and my website took priority over schoolwork. So, I think I made the right decision. I don't remember what a mitochondria is. I know it's the powerhouse of the cell. What the hell does that mean? I know I learned how to solve triple integrals in calculus. I couldn't do that now at all. But I worked on my website and that worked out for me. Anyway, we need a second running back. We need a 5th receiver. We need a tight end. I like Swift. We didn't draft him last time, so yeah, because he got taken 1 pick earlier. I like getting Swift here. And look, Jordan Addison fell to the middle of the 7th round. I think it's because of the DUI stuff. So I'm open to Swift or Judkins or Caleb Johnson, like all 3 of those guys. Pearsall, maybe we take him around 8. But yeah, well, I guess we'll see who's on the board. Hawkinson, I believe, is gone. Yes. The CBM Millport is taking his time here. Okay, he takes Addison. We're going to take Swift. Okay, yeah, we're good with Swift. Yeah, I like Swift a lot this year. Ben Johnson's offense, Chicago's offense is going to be so much better with the offensive line upgrades and Ben Johnson for sure. Pearsall goes. So there goes my Pearsall dream. Cassandra, I was efficient in my website duties. I was inefficient in schoolwork. I was probably the laziest student. Fantasy football show. Hey, Smitty. Hey, how's it going? I was actually I saw one of your tweets today, and I was actually going to ask you if you wanted to come on the show in a couple weeks or so to do like a best ball draft, because you're the one who turned me on to this, Smitty. It's all your fault. So what happened was when I had you on the show last year, you were pointing out that you did all these best ball drafts early, and I'm like, why would you do best ball drafts early? I was like, why? Like, you get more information if you wait. And then you pointed out what I said earlier on this show, where like you can get ahead of the curve, and you can like, it's kind of like doing reps and stuff. And I was like, that makes sense. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll do best ball or drafts earlier next year. And this is like my 65th draft or something. So yeah, this is all your fault, Smitty. So yeah, I hope you could come on the show. That'd be cool. I love having you on the show last year. I don't know if you're still on here, but yeah, I'll if not, I'll reach out to you. Sue says, I was testing you if you had the quacky feeling for Ekro. No. No, although, to praise, I have to praise Quacky. He called the Pacers at like 12-1 to win the finals. And I said, no, you can't take the Pacers. They suck. And I stand by it. If they win the finals, they're going to be the worst team to ever win the NBA finals. This team sucks. Well, comparatively to other finals winners, I should say. All right, let's figure out who we're taking. We have 4 receivers. We need a tight end. Ingram, we can get these guys around 9. Golden has big playability, kind of like him. I guess Pollard went. Okay, I missed that. We don't have Sutton, so we don't take Knicks. Yeah, I guess it's Golden, huh? I mean, like he has great speed and stuff. You could argue Jaden Reed, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be the Golden show. It's going to be a Golden shower in Green Bay. Let's say Golden. Okay, so we have 5 receivers, which I like. 5 receivers after 8 rounds is perfect. Okay, so anyway, no, I don't have a quacky feeling with Beck Road. He's just not good. Well, real quick, we'll look at the leaderboard and then get back to the draft. So, as I said, McElroy is a threat, even though his driver's taken away. Keegan Bradley can't putt. I feel like that'll hurt him. Wyndham Clark is a head case. Cam Young is okay. Fleetwood has never won. Hovland is like the one guy I would be like, I haven't bet him, but I kind of am thinking like maybe I should have. When we had Nuggets on the show for the U.S. Open, he called Hovland the second shot queen, and the RBC golf course where we are now. What was it called? I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, the golf course where we are now, it is a second shot golf course through and through. Approach play means so much. That's why we've got Scotty Scheffler. Hovland is an elite approach player. He's not as good as Scheffler. Scheffler is in a class of his own. But if you go like Scheffler's tier 0, Hovland's definitely a tier 1 in approach play. So the reason why he didn't show up very high in my model is because he's pretty weak at scrambling. But if you're elite at approach play, you don't need scrambling. And this is kind of like the dilemma I fall into with my model. It's like sometimes like a player, like this is a perfect example. Hovland's bad at scrambling, but it doesn't matter if he's great at approach. So I just don't know how to like make that formula work. I guess it's just have to do it manually. But I don't know if there's like an if-then thing I could probably do. I don't know. I'd probably figure it out, but it would be pretty complicated. But yeah, look, I think Hovland is an interesting guy to hedge, or even you don't even need to hedge. Just bet him to win without Scheffler. I wonder what that is right now. Let's see. Hovland is 35-1 to win outright, and to win without Scheffler, he's 16-1. That's quite the difference. Yeah, 16-1 doesn't sound great. Maybe we could do that live. All right, we're up in 3 picks. Let's figure out what we're doing here. Jaden Reed's still here. We can take him. Or we have a quarterback already, so we don't really need one. I really like Igbukah. I'm really warming up to Igbukah. He's first of all, he's showing well in minicamp. And second, Godwin may not be ready by week 1. And I think that's why they took him. It's the same thing with Penix and Kirk Cousins. I think the Falcons saw Cousins throw, and they're like, this guy's shot. We can take Tyler Warren as well, but maybe he's going to be there in round 10. And plus, Njoku's here too. So we can wait on a tight end, I think. And running back, there's Tracy, but we have 2 running backs already. I'm down to take Tracy. I'm going to start him just in case he falls back to round 10. So anyway, so I think that for the reason why the Falcons took Penix when they saw Cousins was shot, I think the same thing. I think the Buccaneers took Igbukah because they're like, Chris Godwin's done, or at least done for this year, and Mike Evans is 32. Like, we're going to need a receiver 1 for down the road, and like Igbukah could be the receiver 2 there this year. I think he's super talented. I'm going to take Igbukah here. It's going to be our 6th receiver, so we're not going to need another receiver. But I think Igbukah round 9 is I'm targeting him here in this range. And we're going to be out Jane Arrigos, but we already finished up with the receivers, so we don't really need one. We're going to need 2 more quarterbacks, but we unlike this the guy from last draft, we're not going to take a quarterback right away after Hurts. There's no need. Justin Fields goes, so we like to see these quarterbacks go because we already have our guy in Hurts. Let's see. Alec Ingold goes undrafted again. Exactly. Neighbors can catch every moon ball throw to him. That's true. And we're going to see Jackson Dart down the road. But anyway, like either way, we're going to see better quarterbacking than they had last year after Daniel Jones got hurt. And like Neighbors is putting up insane numbers with Daniel Jones. Like Russell Wilson is not the same scrambler as Daniel Jones is now, but he is like throwing wise, they are again more quarterbacks is great. Throwing wise, I feel like they're pretty close at this stage of their careers. So I feel like Neighbors just is going to have a great year. I am all over Neighbors. Unfortunately, Tyler Warren goes. That's okay. Hoping that Njoku goes. This tailgate guys does not have a tight end, so he could take Njoku. But I feel like Njoku has fallen to me around 10 consistently, and he takes the much worse pick in Travis Etienne, who probably not going to start most of the year. Pittman goes, so we got our tight end. It all worked out. We're going to take Njoku. Tracy's interesting, but I'd rather just take the tight end here. Okay, so we're halfway through our draft. Let's see some more comments here. Let's see, blah 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 blah. Benihana rice with extra chicken and extra egg. I mean, I'm not an egg guy. I really don't like egg on like non-breakfast food. I don't know. I maybe I'm weird. Like every time I see like salad with egg on it, I'm like please no egg, just no egg, like at all. I don't know. It's not a real fan there. With the receivers took, you're now slyly set up to draft Darnold and Russell Wilson's your quarterbacks 2 and 3. No. I like stacking. We're not going to take crappy quarterbacks just because of the stack. I'm fine just like going on stack wise for them. But no, we could take no Cookie Jordan Love, I guess, because we have Golden. Purdy went. But, we have Hurts, so we don't really need to worry about quarterback too much. Used to be cheaper than fast food. Fast food got so expensive. Cassandra, we know Walter Football was at least an efficient jogger in college. That is true. No one jogged quite like me in college, where I just ducked out of our jogging class and just sat in a cafe or slept in. That was an insane class. I told the story before, but I had a jogging class in my final semester at Penn State. I'm like, look, my last name, Charpinski, means turtle man in Russian. And I think that's because my ancestors were fast in the water and slow on land. Because that worked out for me. Like I was a swimmer in college, but I'm like the slowest runner of all time. I just took the jogging class because I needed a second phys ed class, and it sounded like somewhat easy. And it was pretty tough to begin with because like we had to jog in groups, and like again I'm slow, so like they had to wait for me and stuff. But anyway, it was like another girl was super slow too, so like I wasn't the only one. We figured out they're like, wait, we can sign in and just sit in a cafe because no one's watching us. So they're like, just run around campus. Penn State campus is like super huge. So we stayed at McCarthy's interesting. We can take no Cookie Jordan Love to pair with our receiver, as I said before. Who else is there? There's Dobbins. We took Dobbins last time. We only have 2 running backs, so it's kind of interesting. Let's take no cookie Jordan Love as our second quarterback. I should have checked buys. I didn't check buys. Okay, good. 9-5. Definitely check your buys. It's hard to do that when you're talking about jogging. Anyway, so we're like, wait, no one's watching us. We could just go into a cafe and just sit there. And then like a few times later, we're like, wait, we don't even have to go to class. We could just sign in, go back to our dorms, go to sleep, and then sign out. So that was our jogging class. So I was pretty efficient. And then the final we just had to run faster than we did in our midterm, which was pretty easy. Sure, let's do it. Nice. I have a psych degree too, so maybe I can fix your new addiction when I hop on the show. Just say when I'm there. Nice. All right, awesome. I'm looking forward to it, Smitty. Well, maybe in like a couple weeks, because next week it's the NBA draft, so it's gonna be tough to do some shows. So I'll reach out to you on Twitter or whatnot. But yeah, looking forward to having you on the show again, because you did spark this addiction, and I find myself like drafting all the time. Like if like the kids for example, like they were swimming in the backyard, the kiddie pool today. And I was like, I'm like the pseudo lifeguard here, but let me just do a best ball draft while they're swimming. All right, I should have like checked to see who's there. McCarthy's interesting. I like McCarthy a lot, but we take a third quarterback. I'm going to star him just in case. Running back, I love Garendo, and we didn't take McCaffrey this time, so I am definitely going to take Garendo, even though his ADP is like 30 points higher. I don't think he's going to make it back to us in round 13. So I'm just going to take Garendo. The reason is because if McCaffrey goes down again, old, injury prone, I feel like he's going to miss some games. Garendo is going to have massive performances, and the Niners have the easiest schedule I've ever seen. Their playoff schedule is super easy. So if I have to wait all year for Garendo and he plays in the playoffs, fantasy playoffs, he could be a league winner. So you can't really say that about a lot of round 12 guys. Like Tucker Kraft's a decent tight end. He's not a league winner. Likely same thing. Christian Kirk is injury prone and his upside is not great. Jaden Blue, he could be a league winner. We don't know, but he's not like a full-time back. Like he's a little smaller. He's fast. Thielen could have some good performance. He could be like a sneaky player. Kyle Williams has potential. He's just a rookie in a run-first offense. Rashad White, he could be a league winner if Bucky Irving goes down for sure. He's another one, but I think Garendo's upside is just through the roof. Like his size and speed combo, you really don't see that out of many players. And the RB2 job is his. There's no one to contend for him. Elijah Mitchell's gone. Jordan Mason's gone. And then we have McCarthy. McCarthy, I don't know if he's characterized as like a league winner, but he could be like a solid contributor all year. Tua, he's not going to play all year. Michael Penix. I feel like that's the run first offense, so really don't have much interest there. And then Trevor Lawrence, who I suspect will bounce back, but as far as like league winners in round 12, I think I have the best one for sure. I guess that's a little biased, but I think that's definitely true. Let's see. Sue says, I thought Nuggets had Hovland pegged for the U.S. Open. Poor guy just couldn't buy a putt in round 4. Yeah, he just that round 4 at the U.S. Open was a disaster. I can't believe Sam Burns choked like that. We bet him a small amount, and he went +8 round 4. That was absurd. Like he just had one of the biggest meltdowns you'll ever see, which I guess we should have predicted because he had this huge meltdown at the Canadian Open in the playoff. He missed like the easiest putt. He's the best putter on tour, and he missed the easiest putt. And then he choked away a big lead at the U.S. Open. Just I don't know. He's really talented. He's a great golfer, but he's just a choke artist. I mean, he's won before too, so it's not like he hasn't done that. We have Trey Benson, Tyler Algier, like both guys. We only have 3 running backs, so we need more. Receiver, we're done with receiver. Tight end, Ferguson, or these guys are all mediocre, and we have Njoku. I could see Gesicki in round 15 if he's there. And then so we're up now. I like Benson, but I like Algier more. There's an argument for Stafford because we need a third quarterback, but we have Hurts, so I think we can wait on Richardson again. And plus, like how often is Stafford going to be out Hurts to be in your lineup, your starting lineup? So I'm going to take Algier once again. He is one of my favorite players in this range, and I think I'm going to take Benson on the way back if he makes it there, but I'm not sure if he will. Okay, so Smitty says agreed on Ibuka. He played with JSN, Jeremiah Smith, Willie, all the boys. So he was born in chaos, being moved all around. He's a top 12 dynasty receiver. Yeah, we definitely agree. He's a stud. I was not a fan of him earlier in the summer, I guess spring, just because it's such a crowded receiving core in Tampa. You know, with Evans and Godwin and McMillan. But really, McMillan kind of he's going to be behind Ibuka, let's face it. And then when I heard those reports on Godwin, where he might not be ready week one, I'm like, oh, okay, that's why they took Ibuka at 19. It's like, yeah, they saw Godwin running around. They're like, yeah, this guy's not going to be ready this year. So if we're already hearing guys aren't going to be ready for week one, like think about McCaffrey last year. Like he had this calf injury like the whole time, and like they wouldn't tell us. Like Godwin's got to be hurting pretty bad if they don't know if he's going to play week one. So I don't know. Anyway, we could take Stafford here. He's like the last real quarterback available. So I don't mind. Does bye weeks work out? I think 9-5. Yeah, we take Stafford. There's no one else I love running back. We got to take Cartavius, right? We got to take Cartavius, Big G. Plus, I'm down on. You know what? I'm going to take Jalen Wright. Sorry, Kenny. I like Jalen Wright more. For sure. And we didn't get him last time, so I want him at least once tonight. So we have 3 running backs in a row. We now have 5. I would want at least one more, no more than 2 more. And we need a second time. Gesicki goes. I was hoping he would come back to us at 15:08, but that's okay. We have Njoku, who's much better. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, like I like these running backs you can take here. I've said that so many times, but like really, Garendo could be a league winner. Algier, like what Bijan goes down, Algier could be a league winner. Like your 13th round pick is going to give you round 2, round 3 production. It's insane. Jalen Wright, same thing. Achane is sober at all. He's like locked in this time. I'd be shocked if Achane plays every game. Jalen Wright's going to play. If that happens, there's no Raheem Mostert, and he's a talented guy. I mean, they traded a 3rd round pick for him. They like him a lot. He fits the system very well. And the run blocking will be better this year with the James Daniels there. Now they lost Armstead, which is not ideal, but having James Daniels block is going to be a nice upgrade for Jalen Wright or Achane. So I like them for sure in round 14. So anyway, yeah, we're Tillman I like, but again, we have receivers, so I'm not like dying to take like Tillman or Pierce here. We have 6 receivers. Ideally, you want 7. I have never exited a draft with fewer than 7 receivers. So it's usually like 7 or 8 for me. But given that we have 6 already, and we took like our first 3 picks were receivers with Neighbors, Brown, and Smith and Jigba. So I don't think we really need to take receivers until the very end. I think our last pick will probably be a receiver, and then we'll just leave it at that. Anyway, it's kind of weird to see Stafford go 14-10. He has gone like usually goes like round 12. Sometimes he leaks into round 13, but I've never seen him fall to like round 14, like 14-10. If our top quarterback wasn't Hurts and instead it was like a round 9 guy like Purdy or something, then I think I definitely would have taken Stafford like probably at 13:08. And who knows, maybe at 12:05. I would have taken McCarthy at 12:05 actually. Anyway, we're up in 2 picks. Let's see who's available. Let's go to Jake Batch is available. We don't need all right, we're gonna make things up with Kenny. We're gonna take Cartavius Bigsby. If he's gone, we take Shipley. Tight end, there's Cade Otton. No one great. I feel like you can just wait on tight ends. You're gonna get the same production. If they hadn't drafted Ibuka, I'd have more interest in Otton, but it's so crowded there. It's unreal. Anyway, I hope we can get both of these guys. I know that would put us 7 running backs, but we only took 2 early. So I'm all for like if you do that, like this is unlike what we did last time. So I'm gonna take Cartavius Bigsby. So Kenny won't be too mad at me. In fact, he should be happy that I waited for him. So like if we like what we did last time, we took 3 running backs early. Who did we take? We took McCaffrey and then Jones and Pacheco. So if you do that, then I think you can get away with only 6 running backs because you have 3 early. But here we only have 2 running backs early, and Mixon and Swift. And like Mixon's on the other side. I guess Swift has an injury history. Like I think that in this sort of setup, you would want 7 running backs. So that number really depends on your construction of your roster. So that's how I'd handle that. So if Shipley's off the board, then I think we go Justice Hill. But if Richardson goes, so we're going to get one of our running backs here, and hopefully it's Shipley. Oh, it's not Shipley. So we're going to take Justice Hill. So major bummer that we didn't get Shipley. Did we get him last time? Let's see. We did not. It was where did Shipley go? He went 1502. So we were sniped from Shipley. That's a bummer. I love Will Shipley. It's the same thing. Like Barkley had this huge workload last year. And so there's a chance that he misses some games. He could get nicked up. And even if he doesn't, he's going to like his workload is going to be lessened a little bit. He played into the playoffs with that huge number of carries and touches he had. Like they're going to have to lower the workload. So Shipley's going to get some touches here and there, more so than the backup had last year, Kenneth Gainwell. And also, Gainwell's gone, so he's going to get the third down work. And in blowouts, he's going to come in, like we saw in the NFC Championship, run for a 60-yard touchdown. So there's so many reasons to like Shipley. I think he should be going earlier. He should be going like where Jalen Wright went here, like 1405, or like Algier. He should be going like round 13, round 14 range. So, yeah, I mean, I usually get him. He's one of my highest drafted players. I think he's like my 4th highest drafted player. He's just way too good a value in round 16. And he was going later, earlier in like the offseason and like before the draft. And I guess like people thought the Eagles might take a running back, but like he was going like round 18 back then. And I was taking him every time. So the percentage owned, it has something to do with that. Now he's going around 16 now, which is initially like sort of sticker shock, but I still think he's a good value, 16-4. By the way, Andre Yoshivas just went 16-11. I got him in the draft today at like 2002. I don't know why he lasted so long. I didn't even need a receiver, but he was just staring at me like around 18. I just looked at the name. I'm like, doesn't he go like 2 rounds earlier? Like maybe I should take him, but I didn't need another receiver. I think I already had 7. So I just let him slide. And then like round 20 came around and he was just there. I'm like, wow, I'll just take Yoshivas. Kind of weird. He's like one of those rare like handcuff receivers. You see handcuff running backs obviously all the time. Like handcuff receivers is rare because like if a running back goes down, the backup's going to come in and do well. You would usually. If a receiver goes down, the backup receiver doesn't usually do well. Like the quarterback will spread it around more, or target tight end more, or something, or they just won't produce because they're not as good. And like they're like doesn't have to be a reception. The receiver could just drop the ball or just not get open. But like Yoshivas is different in that like we've seen him produce when Higgins gets injured. So he has that sort of appeal. And like Higgins tends to miss time. So Yoshivas should be useful at some point. Anyway, so we have 2 quarterbacks. We only have 2 quarterbacks. I just realized. So we could take let's take Daniel Jones. So we took Richardson last time. We take Daniel Jones here, assuming that he gets to us and CV Moport doesn't draft him. He is the second best player available. So there's that. If Jones goes, do we dare take Shedeur Sanders? No. Maybe we take like Joe Flacco or something. And by the way, I mean Sue said it. We have neighbors. We can take Russell Wilson. Anyway, we're going to stack Malik Neighbors with Daniel Jones, his quarterback from last year. I know it's not how it works, but we're still going to do it. Assuming the buys work out, we have 9 and 5, so we can take an 11. Let's take Daniel Jones. So I like that we took a Colt quarterback in both drafts. I'm usually drafting the guy that goes later. I think one of them is going to have a good fantasy year. Like we've seen. K-Dot goes. We've seen Richardson have some great fantasy performances, and like he's had some duds too. But like when you have a quarterback like Jalen Hurts on your fantasy roster, on your best ball roster, like it's going to be difficult to beat him on a weekly basis, and that's why I like pairing him with Richardson. It's because Richardson can have these insane spike weeks where he beats out Hurts, and I think like it just sounds weird to say because Jones has been a bust so far. Like Jones has these spike week potentials. Like he has rushing upside. We've seen him in 2022 where he scored a bunch of rushing touchdowns. He can do that. By the way, Kyle Monaghan goes. I talked about him around 20, so he goes there. All right, we're up in one pick. But yeah, Daniel Jones, if he starts running around again, like he could do very well, fantasy-wise at least. All right, we need a second tight end. I'm going to save Higbee for round 19 as usual. I love Theo Johnson. Schultz is a possibility too. I think Theo Johnson has some great upside. And so now I'm kind of sad that we didn't take Russell Wilson. Actually, not really, because he's going to get benched by October. Theo Johnson is very athletic. He has a lot of upside. I tend to take him in like round 18. And unless I get Kittle, because Kittle and Johnson have the same buys. So you don't want quarterbacks and tight ends with the same buys, because that just creates problems during those weeks, because you can't pick up players like you can in regular fantasy. This is much different. But yeah, you can. Theo Johnson is super athletic. Jackson Dart goes. So if we didn't have a third quarterback, if Jones went, we could have taken Wilson or Jackson Dart, whichever made the most sense. I'm not a Dart guy. I don't think he's gonna be that good. And Russell Wilson sucks. So I wish Jameis Winston were that quarterback, were the Giants quarterback this year. It'd be so fun. I know that he would have like some 5 interception games, but that's okay. Like, it's Jameis Winston. It's like what he does. I think that it kind of sucks that they signed Russell Wilson right after him. I would love to see Jameis throw to neighbors. That'd be so great. I don't know. They wouldn't win many games, but they'd be a lot of fun to watch. I'm kind of wondering, like, should I take like Keenan Allen? I not now because he just went, but I'm like generally speaking, like Keenan Allen and Amari Cooper are just like sitting in the final 3 rounds. I feel like once they sign with someone, the ADP is going to skyrocket. Same thing with J.K. Dobbins. Like, he was going around this range, and then the Broncos signed him, and now he's going around 12. Like, Keenan Allen, as soon as he signs, I don't know if he's going to sign with someone or when or who it is, but once he signs, same thing with Cooper, like they're going to go like round 12, 13, 14. And so you would get a discount on them. So, but I don't know. I always think about that. I'm like, should I take them? And then I just don't. I don't know. Maybe I'll regret it, but I don't know. It's like one of those things where you have like plans to do stuff and you just don't do it. I don't know. I'm sure there's like a phrase for it or something, but so yeah, we're entering the penultimate round here of the second and final draft for tonight. Hope you guys had fun watching this. Always blessed to talk to you guys in the chat and whatnot. There goes Cooper. Sometimes he's there around 20. I have drafted Cooper a little bit, not a lot. He's probably like 3% or something. But I have drafted him in like round 20. He's one of the guys I like off the top of my head in round 20. I just draft if he's there. So we could start thinking about a round 20 pick. So we have Jones. Don't really know who to pair with him. There's Love. So we could take Dontavian Wicks. Oh no, Higbee goes. What am I gonna do? Oh my God, Higbee. My plans are ruined. Who am I gonna draft instead of Higbee? Maybe Noah Gray, Cole Kmet, maybe. What am I gonna do now? Like this, they just ruined my whole draft. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here. Luke Musgrave, maybe? I don't know. Jatavian Sanders has upside. He is I have a week 14 bye guy. Never mind. I'm going to take Noah Gray. Travis Kelce's probably done. Let's just take Noah Gray, whatever. It just ruined my whole plan. And Cole Kmet went. I kind of like wondering where he went. He got drafted. Cole Kmet was going to be my backup plan. I can't believe someone had the gall to take Tyler Higbee. It's Pat Stanek. This guy's draft sucks, and then his best pick is round 19. Congratulations. I'm gonna crap on this guy's draft after this is over. So round 20, we have Hurts. No one to pair with him. We have Love. We could go Dontavian Wicks. I'm not crazy about him. I know that Kenny talked him up, and Butters loves him. I'm gonna take Deontay Thornton if he's there. What was I gonna say? Like if they suffer injuries and stuff, like Wicks could do well. I guess he's kind of like a handcuff receiver that I was talking about with Yoshivas to a lesser extent. The problem is that they drafted a Golden to handle those, like, the deep part, of the field, and they're going to eventually get Christian Watson back. He's not going to be out for all of 2025. So even if they suffer some injuries late in the year, like Watson's going to be there, there's going to be Golden, and then one of Doubs or Reed, or so. Like there are 3 guys already, and then one's going to get hurt, and so Wicks would still be the receiver 3. Like that's not ideal. Like you would want Wicks to be the receiver 2 if there's an injury, and that's just not going to happen. So, okay, we're going to get Dante Thornton unless Megan Ray takes him. We're going to get Dante Thornton. This guy has looked good in minicamp. He's a beast as far as like athleticism is concerned. Like he's a big guy, he's super fast, a lot of potential, and he's doing well in minicamp. He should be drafted earlier in this. So swing for the fences around 20. Don't take this guy. Don't take D Robinson. He's not going to do anything for you. Don't take Deontay Johnson. He's I guess he's fine. Don't take Ty Johnson. What has he done? Like, his best week was what, 15? I guess he had a 20 for some reason. But like he's never going to enter your lineup with this. Like it was a 13, I guess, but 0, 4, 13, 6, 1, 3, 7, 0, 2. There's no upside here. Don't take Ty Johnson. Take like a Jordan James if you want a running back, I guess. Zach Moss is injured. Don't take these guys. Anyway, let's talk about my team, and then we're gonna crap on Pat Stanek. So we went triple receiver early. Neighbors, Brown, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. Love our receiving core. Obviously, if I didn't like the receiving core, I should probably rethink my draft strategy. Juwan Jennings, like him, Golden has upside. Not quite sure what we're going to get from him, but he definitely has upside. He's going to have some spike weeks. And then we talked about Ibuka. So receiving core is awesome. And then Deontay Thornton is a nice 7th. Running backs, we waited a little bit, but we got Mixon and Swift. Obviously, they have their downsides, but they should be a good duo when healthy. And then we went quintuple running back in a row, getting some sleeper guys: Gorendo, Algier, Wright, Bigsby, Hill. I'm confident at least one of those guys is going to have a big year due to injury or whatnot. Maybe 2. That's what we're hoping for. Like 2 would be awesome. 1 is doable. 1's like manageable, like for this team. Quarterback, we took Hurts in round 4, so we didn't really need anything after that. We have Love, no cookie Jordan Love in round 11. And then we took our upside guy in Daniel Jones in round 17. And then Javen Njoku, I like a lot in round 10. And then Theo Johnson. And then, unfortunately, Higbee went, and that ruined our whole draft plan. We got Noah Gray. So our percent ownership on Higbee is going to be lower, unfortunately. So let's talk about Pat Stanek. So for some reason, he decided to stack Henry and Jackson, which is not a stack. They are negatively correlated because Henry doesn't catch many passes. If Jackson scores a touchdown, then Henry's almost certainly not scoring it. If Henry scores a touchdown, then Jackson probably did not throw the ball to him to score the touchdown. So, they could go off together. That could happen. The Ravens could be involved in some blowouts, but they are not positively correlated. So I don't like putting them together on one team, and Jackson at 208 is a reach. Mike Evans at 305 is a reach. He's old. He's 32. He could have another big year, but I've seen him go early round 4. In this draft, where'd he go? He went, where'd Evans go? He went, he went 406. So this guy took him at 305. A guy who went 406 in the previous draft. He drafted Alvin Kamara 408, another reach, not an egregious reach, but a reach nonetheless. Godwin at 505. So he stacked Evans, Godwin, and Mayfield. He did not get Igbuka at 905. He should have taken Igbuka at 905 instead of Godwin. This is a big mistake. Olave 608. I like a lot. I love Olave as a player, but the concussions scared me. Plus, he's playing for a bad offense. Mayfield, I think he's going to regress a little bit this year. Mark Andrews at 808. He probably could have got him at 905. Rashid Shaheed. You don't want Rashid Shaheed this year unless Olave gets traded because rookie quarterbacks tend to lock in on the receiver ones. Although you could argue that Shaheed could go off when Olave gets hurt again, which is fine. Stevenson at 1008 is a reach. Like Kenny talked about yesterday, how he keeps drafting Stevenson around 12. Like, don't take Stevenson 1008, take him 1105. Marvin Mims, I think, is not going to be involved in offense this year. Rashad White, I like that as like the one good pick he's had so far. Pat Fryer moved around 13, just okay. Nick Chubb around 14, that's a waste. Chubb is probably done. Hopkins gives you 0 upside in round 15. And then he took Tyler Shuck to stack with Olave and Shaheed, which is not a good idea because Shuck may not even start. It could be Rattler. And then he took Taysom Hill around 17, who may not play for a while because of torn ACL. Ray McLeod, no interest in Ray McLeod. Higbee's the best pick he made all draft, except for Rachaad White, I guess. And then Malik Washington, round 20. I suppose there's some upside here, but not much. So, yeah, this Pat Stanek guy, thank you for paying the rake. Really appreciate it. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this show. Had a lot of great back and forth here. So thank you for watching and commenting. Really appreciate it. Going to be back Saturday with Tom. So we're going to get into more tomfoolery, where the wordplay intended there. Yeah, gonna always have fun with Tom there, and that's gonna be a fun episode. So please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video, visit the link in the description for the merch store. All that would really be appreciated, and I hope you have a great night and a great start to your weekend, and I'll talk to you on Saturday.